couldn't out the Vasca at all. Janjurani, Solka Abidali, Dilip Sadisai and Vishwanath. They make West Indies bowlers look like second-raters when those fellows came out here to bat. West Indies tried holder and keep boys. They had no other choice. They even tried with Newton Dow, but a short of the sorry they bring him now. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Like a wall, we couldn't out Vasca at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Vasca at all. Desmond Lewis, also Charlie Davis, they take a little shame from out we face. But Sobers as a captain, he won plenty coaching before we cricket end up in a disgrace. Beatty here that he became a father, he catch out whole first in the cover. But when Sobers here, he too had a son, he made duck and went back in the pavilion. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Vasca at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Vasca at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Vasca at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Vasca at all.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Good afternoon, and we welcome one and all listeners across all platforms to the Third Empire on the Street 91.9 FM. In our usual way of proceeding, we want to give thanks again for another day. Apart from the weather, we want to give thanks for another day, and we trust and we hope and pray that everyone is well and you're dry. Try to stay dry, don't get wet, don't get that flu, but we want to give thanks for the weather. No matter, it is the rainy season, and as such we do expect the showers. I saw on social media landslide on the north coast. I hope everybody is well with that, and it's just the roadway and not loss of life or injury. And again, I do not take it for granted the opportunity to be here to converse with you all, the listening public. You could be doing other things at 4 o'clock, but you decide to just spend some time to listen and to contribute, to hear contributions and to share your opinions with us on the Third Empire. We do give thanks and we do give honor and we pay homage as usual, as we will every day, to the owners and operators of this great radio station, the Street 91.9 FM. Pioneers in their own respect, and the job that they are doing is a tremendous job, and kudos to Mr. George, you know, entrepreneur and leader in many respects, and we do give gratitude for that. I'm here, joined with my square leg so far. Our tech review umpire is not with us as yet, but square leg is here, and I am here standing stumps. So we have a match. Good afternoon, Mr. Matheson.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all of the listening public and all those listening to us abroad and wherever you are. Good afternoon. Today we promise to have something very insightful discussion, just like every other day. One of the things I would like to say, in addition to what my stump empire would have indicated, is that in this cricket match we have batsmen and we have fielders. And very often when you look at a game on television, sometimes you will see a fielder or a batsman either in the commentary box having discussions with us from time to time. And I want to say tomorrow we will have one of the batsmen sitting with us as we comment as umpires, sitting with us to discuss some of the issues on the wicket. And so tomorrow in the 4 to 6 program, we will have a minister of government who is probably no stranger to media and that kind of thing.
Yes.
And he will be here as one of the batsmen, talking to us and answering some of the difficult questions that we ourselves have been trying to decipher over the last few weeks and days. So that promises to be an exciting show tomorrow, and we look forward to you, the listeners, or you, those in the pavilion, also talking to us and talking to that particular batsman. I think he's a 12th man.
Yes,
or a
yes.
13th man.
Yes. He
But in any event, he's a batsman, and he's a hard hitting one too.
Yes.
Right? So we look forward to the show tomorrow, and that particular batsman. As usual, it's really 3 of us. On average, we'll have 3 umpires here on any given day. For the last 2 days, we've been without one of our major umpires, the cameraman, and he's not here at this time. He's not here as yet, but we know he's on matters of state right now. We don't know if he will get away and he'll be able, if he's listening to us, and if he will be with us, right? We know the circumstances, so
Yes.
we expect to have a very good show, and nonetheless today.
Yes, and we do have some little topics lined up. We do have a document here which we will make mention to from CPEP, and we will deal with that at the appropriate time. We will paraphrase from the document and talk about the issues that are raised in the document and speak to some of the information as we have gotten it, that we are informed. It is actually a media release. So it is an official document. It's about CPEP committed to transparency and integrity. So I guess a lot of the issues addressed in that document will address those 2 issues, and we will address those issues as stated in the document in our next hour, a little on in the show, but we will deal with it succinctly.
But Umpire Ronaldo, you are standing just behind the stumps, and we have one of the batsmen in the wicket is the Minister of Defense and the Minister of Homeland Security.
Yes.
And you know, we have this is something that we talk about all the time, but it seems to be getting more and more serious. In fighting crime, you know, one has to be equitable, one has to be also careful in terms of how you deal with not just criminal, but how you deal with citizens, how you deal with people. And I just want to ask you a question, because the cry we're hearing about the amount of police involvement, shooting involvement with people and that kind of thing, and we hear the police side all the time. But you are also hearing the outcry of citizens and people who, and this is not something new. You are also hearing the outcry of citizens who feel, who sometimes on the scene and see what happened, and feel that the citizens in some way are not treated in the way they should be treated, in a professional way, that kind of thing. And some would say that when you're robbing and killing people and taking their car and their valuable and the property and thing, you don't really deserve, in the opinion of some people, you don't really deserve that. You don't really deserve to be treated fairly, right? But you and I know there is something called due process, and we talk about it all the time. And when you have so many instances of killings, shooting by the police, some people call it extrajudicial killings, you start to ask yourself if, in every instance, if the police is right, or if what happened was the correct thing, if it was the right use of force, and that is something that is weighing heavily on the confidence people have in society on both sides, right? We heard some time ago, we were talking about a gentleman who would have been held for burglary, and he was taken to the St. Joseph police station, and then he was found dead in the prison some 4 hours after. And then we hear about the killing of the 2 gentlemen, or one of the gentlemen, in somewhere in Laventille, where it was reported that 2 men were seen with a firearm in a particular area. The police responded, and 2 men ended up getting shot. One was critically wounded, and one was also severely in a severe situation also. So that, to me, when you hear the story, you only hear the police side. And to a large extent, one of the things that I've always advocated for, and one of the things that I feel that could probably somehow solve that problem, or bring some kind of workable solution to the outcry of citizens, is police body cam for police. I've been hearing about that for the last probably 10 years. Why is it police still do not have body cam? Because my position, if you shoot and kill somebody as a police officer, we know we'll hear the police story all the time. How much guns, it's easy to put gun on the scene and thing, I just saying, right? You see it happening all the time. But how does that investigation go? Yeah, because I have a personal friend who was in a situation, and when he relayed what happened, I tend to believe what he said. But the thing that will solve that problem, in my opinion, is body cam. And I think the DPP and the West and all these guys should take serious the issue of body cam. If you come into me and you say you killed somebody in a situation like this, I will have a serious problem with you if you didn't have on a body cam. And I can't review the footage for myself to see if it corroborates with your story. I don't know, what's your position on that?
The situation as it regards police and police killings and quote-unquote extrajudicial killings by the police, to me, is a very sensitive topic.
It is.
It's quite divisive as well.
It is.
Because, one, without the hardcore evidence it's hard to make a conclusive statement. Two, I really, really appreciate the job that they do.
Yes,
And sometimes I do realize that they may be in a position where it's them or me. I don't know what I would do. Well, I know what I would do if it's them or me.
Yeah.
You understand?
It had to be you. It had to be them.
Yeah, that, you know. However, when we do observe the law, this is what we do subscribe to. And there are laws that govern how they use their force and when, and the manner in which there are regulations that govern that.
But for some reason, you don't see police with taser and all the other things that you see. You watch our police in a first world country, you'll see them with about 10 things around the belt. You see them with taser.
Yeah, there has been a call perennially for non-lethal weapons. But I tell you this, in this banana republic, everything ends up being a debate. And some of these debates last for years.
You see, we have been without the right kind of national security for so long that the people themselves start believing that whatever the police do is the right thing.
Or the wrong thing.
Well, there are those who will say the wrong thing, but even the people who say it's the wrong thing will be chastised by the people who say it's the right thing because of the amount of crime it have.
Yeah.
So people will say, well, look, listen, we can't give up our freedom. It doesn't matter, let all of them pass in the rush. But I think there are some innocent people and everybody shouldn't pass in the rush. There must be a system, a way in which we deal with crime, which is fair to everybody, every citizen.
But what you speak of, there's a balance. And often enough, that balance, it's not easy to get it right, you know. That equilibrium between freedom and human rights. Remember the society, well, you know the political philosophy behind it, which is the rights of the individual and the rights of the collective. And political theory will tell you that the rights of the collective always trump the right of the individual, especially when it comes to safety and security. Now that sounds nice theory, but how does that play out in practical? What does that mean? That also means that some things are going to be unjust, because we also have tyranny of the majority. Good? And sometimes innocent people, either way, even when police killings are justified or not justified, innocent people are going to be in the mix.
Right, but I'm still saying that those in authority could still institute measures to reduce,
and that is what, and that is the balance we have to aim at. We have to aim at the reduction in some of those circumstances where the actions of the law enforcement are so questionable.
Because this is a third world country, but I mean we're not so undeveloped that we can have the right kind of tools to do what we're supposed to do. I mean, we're not in, I mean, it has some places where they just don't have per capita, they don't have the resources we have.
Because as you rightly say, we will hear from the victims and maybe their families that this was totally unjust and uncalled for, right? But when you go to the members of the latter community who may or may have been affected by the acts, you know, they will say, but we can't say nothing, you know, boy, because he might have maybe do a little two-party or he chose him, but he was a terror. Good. But that doesn't justify
and sometimes
actions.
Sometimes because of that,
yes.
Sometimes the police, I'm just saying, the police might find it easier,
correct,
to take that man out
because
legally it might have been difficult otherwise to just catch him.
Yeah.
But that also says something about our policing. It also says something about the resources available to the police to fight crime, investigative skills, investigative means, special training for police officers in terms of investigation and that kind of thing. And to me, that is, I mean, I don't see that happening in Trinidad and Tobago for some reason. We are too linear. Anything can happen. We do operate with data. We do operate with proper information. We just operate by friend, whims and fancy. You know what we feel happen. You know that kind of thing, and we have to move away from that. We have to move to a society that operates, because we have the resources to do so. Move to a society that operates the way first world nations operate.
There's a 2008 movie. I don't know if you have seen that movie. There's a 2008 movie starring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro called Righteous Kill.
Right. Yeah. So
You've seen the movie.
Yeah.
And you understand the theme behind the movie. Because the victims in the movies,
and that was taken off from a team of a movie years ago with some judges.
Yes.
Who was making decision behind the scene to
yes,
take all people that they couldn't.
yes,
they couldn't get.
And in that movie, you know, as you remember, as you recount, the victims of the killings that were totally extrajudicial were all people, however, who were deemed to be or labeled to be. I'm not just labeled, they had facts because they had rap sheets, but they never faced a court, right? But they were the so-called undesirables in the society.
Yeah.
Good? Committing crime, you know, shamelessly, and sometimes very heinous crime. Good? And you see, all of this challenges our theory about democracy. Because if this were not a democratic state, or we were so not in love with democracy, this would have been easy to solve. Because there are societies like Indonesia and other countries who have said, listen, this is what we're going to do, and that's it. You bring drugs into our country,
yes, I mean,
you die.
Singapore, you know,
You die.
different places, yeah,
Right?
Yeah, we have too many shades of grey. We have too many allowance for persons. I mean, I'm not saying that those are some of the ills or the spoils of democracy.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, they are spoils of democracy,
Yes.
right?
So the police actions, in many ways, I feel very sorry for them at times. You're not too sure if they are the victims, because these are the same people and the same members of society who say, here now, we fed up with that man, you know. That man real slap up my mother yesterday. We fed up with that man. Imagine that man threatened my brother. That man beat up this one. We cry out to them for action and turn around and be judge and jury of the acts that they commit. Because everybody has a son, everybody is somebody. Anybody who dies is somebody's son and mother. You know, brother, sister, somebody, father.
So if you was to drop the hammer on a side, where would you drop it?
On the collective. I will drop it on the rights of the collective to survive. And that may or may not be by means that we approve of or we are too happy with. I understand the imbalance. I am not for the imbalance because, as you say, we should not institute it and have it institutionalized, that people take their matters into their own hands even if they are law enforcement. Good? Because that will create too much havoc and corruption, and given that an extreme, you will hear about killing squads within protective services. You understand? We don't want that. But the most hailed law enforcement person, as I've heard growing up in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Burrows. But the things that I heard...
And he's thriving in society when murders was in 100.
Correct. But his methods were always very notorious. I didn't hear you argue no case before with the prison council.
I had the opportunity to speak to Burrows when I had first become a journalist I was working for newspapers.
Yeah.
And I went a night home by Burrows in Diego Martin. And that was the remnants. He was, I think he had already been charged, or he was on leave. And he said to my friend who was a senior journalist, he said, listen, you see, we live in a society and nobody really cares about who live or who die. But I had to do what I had to do to keep a certain balance. He said that. He said I had to do what I had to do, what I had to do to keep he didn't say what he did. He said
Yes.
I had to do what I had to do to keep a certain balance. And so one would understand that. And you say you believe in the collective, but that lends into the saying that a society that is willing to give up the freedom for quick fixes like this is a society who does not in any way deserve the freedom.
Well, I don't see it as a quick fix. I see it as part of the course. Because I do not think you can do this thing by asking all criminals to come forward, everybody put on the gun and come into church. That will not happen. that surely will not happen.
People, and we say this all the time. We have these kind of discussions all the time where we said, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, we have to go back to basic to find out why these things are happening. And yesterday we spoke about we touched a little bit on why the criminal justice system and the prison system, the penal system, and why so many people, especially so many black people, so many African youths end up in prison.
Yeah, we'll talk about the prison system.
And we went back to show how it has a correlation in the education system.
Correct.
And the weaknesses of the education system. And therefore, do you think that we could do something to address both the education system and both the social security network to prevent criminals coming of age and the institutionalization of it?
And again, I believe, I mean, I was raised by a disciplinarian, and the perversion of which can be abuse, right? And sometimes it's hard to strike that balance. You understand? However,
but society have not society, but governance has a responsibility.
yes, we do. Well, that's what I'm saying. So I agree that you have to strive for it. But until you reach it, everything will be in balance. It will not have it. And I say that because our problems, we're not a big population. But even if you look at our youth in general, not everyone is like that. And maybe not the majority either. But if we try to deal with the problem at an earlier stage and invest most of our resources there, and I'm not saying that no government has done that, because we do have a plethora of youth programs. I don't know if we reassess them. I don't know if we assess them and we really consider them and how effective they are, and they are not. Or they are not. But we first have to admit that we have a problem. And I do not think Trinidad and Tobago has admitted that they have a problem. We do not believe we have a problem. We believe it's a one-off.
Who do believe you have
I
a
don't
problem?
believe
I
as
mean,
a
the politicians don't believe you have a problem. The society don't believe you
Yeah.
have a problem.
Yeah, I don't believe that we admit that we have a problem.
No, man.
No, we believe it's a... No, why I say that is because that will call for a scientific approach. For instance, COVID was a problem. And if you understand that COVID was a problem, you'd understand that we followed the science. And we did things like that. To me, that is evidence of we admitting that there is a problem. Now, we talked about having an issue. We talked about, okay. But I think as a nation, we have not admitted in a total way that we have a problem, and we need to deal with it on all fronts. So we need the juvenile side of it. That's before they reach harden. We need to deal with the education side of it.
Education, the whole education system.
The whole education side of it.
I know tomorrow we have one of the batsmen in the wicket. One of the batsmen who would usually be in the wicket on the program in our commentary box. And one of the questions I don't want to ask him, because he might have a little greater insight into how the batting side will be dealing with the challenges that we face and that we all talk about here.
Yes.
I would like to hear what he has to say about it, because he too had been talking a lot in the past, before he became a batsman, about the system. And I remember we sitting and talking a lot about the education system and, you know, what happens. And Trinidad and Tobago, in my opinion, is too small to be having these kind of issues. The issues that we have with crime, the issues that we have, especially when you consider the amount of resources, financial and otherwise, that we had in this country, that passed through this country. Clearly, we did not have thinkers, and we did not have people who are worthy of being called strategic in terms of designing a society that will create the kind of freedom and the freedom of access to services and everything that makes people comfortable, put people in a state of comfort to be able to traverse the life without crime, or without the level of crime that we have, and without, you know, good jobs and easy access to food and everything. We just do not have, and it's easy in my opinion, because I have said it time and time again on programs like these, that we have less people in Trinidad and Tobago that some big companies will have as employees, and they know everything about their employees, where they are, what time, who didn't come, everything, because they had massive HRIS systems and that kind of thing. Several companies in the world today with that, and with some of these softwares you could buy it in a box. So it's not too hard to solve these problems when you consider, if you understand where every single citizen lie on the chart, and what are their particular disposition, how to help them, who is where, and you know, that kind of thing. I think it will be easy to solve.
But you are supporting my view. The absence of this tells you that we do not believe that there's a problem. If there was a problem, the discussion we had yesterday about the state of the prison, we've built buildings here, all kind of building, all kind of hotel. That would not be a discussion. If this were really a problem, we will not be discussing with, you want to wear a body cam or you don't want to wear a body cam. You understand? It will follow to me that certain things will be part of the course. It will be instructions. It will be whether you have to do it legally through legislation or regulation. But we still in the talk phrase, because we ain't too sure. Is them up there? Is Lavantail? Is that we are going wrong in circles?
And we had so many studies. We had so many psychologists and so many sociologists and criminologists reporting, all kind of commission of inquiry, all kind of different things,
statistics, report,
all kind of
statistics,
and yet we do operate with data, we do operate with statistics. We seem to be operating like dumb three blind mice.
Yeah, and again, part of that problem is, for me, our governance structure.
It is
because every government enacts a 5-year plan. That is the worst thing that you are an HR expert for planning purposes.
Yeah, we should have a national development plan.
To turn around your company in 5 years, you're asking for plenty. Because they will tell you in the incubation period you wouldn't see profit.
Which is why I would have said earlier on that if both Baton and Field side
Yeah.
should come together
Yes.
as nationals
Yes.
in a nationalistic initiative to say these are the issues that are very critical to Trinidad and Tobago, and let us work together to solve these things. So when it comes to Parliament, when it comes to go to the Senate, we will support it or whatever. Some people will say, well, then there is no need for government. There is no need for opposition or for government in the government structure that we have. But listen, there is a greater need to fix things in Trinidad and Tobago than, you know, the structure of the legislative governance in Trinidad and Tobago.
And you're right. We will actually need greater governance and governance structure, and nothing prevents the Baton side and the bowling side on agreeing on certain key issues. But developmentally, first world countries and serious societies enact 20 and 50-year plans.
Exactly. China has been going
Good.
at it since the year of humiliation, since in the early late 40s.
So
and
somehow we seem to adopt the treadmill approach, which really isn't doing good for anything. You know, somebody comes and undo the good that you do, and then you come back in again. You have to start over from scratch, and
whole set of money spending again.
yeah, and we just keep going around
Until
in
we
these
reach that
circles.
position right now where we just spending, we could just deal with recurrent expenditure. So we could just pay salaries and hope for the best, because we didn't have the kind of finance to do all the things that we should be doing to solve the problem in Trinidad and Tobago, and that to me is unfortunate.
And in terms of crime and the discussion we were having, we have to have that balance between collective rights and individual rights. And even though I believe, as I tell you, collective rights trump individual rights in the social contract that we have with society, that does not negate the fact that individuals do have rights.
That's what the Kantian approach,
Yeah,
ethical
the
approach,
Hobbes approach. Yeah.
the greater good.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do believe in that. When it comes to food, shelter, security, the greater good applies. Because I will want to build my house on top of your house. Good? And I will say that is my individual right. But how the community is affected, I will say that I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. This is mine. And even when you look at the society, as you say, with the extrajudicial killings and some of the unfortunate things have gone on, I believe there are other aspects of policing that have caused the public to lack confidence in how they do. There have been stranger things, some people not appearing to court, people disappearing, people being wrongfully charged, you know, wrong section, wrong. You know, there are a lot of other things that make people very dubious and very untrustworthy when it comes to how they operate. And those are the things we need to fix. And those are the non-monetary things, you know. You know, those are the things we need to fix. Those are the things that help us have confidence in how they do what they do. And I admit what they do is difficult. Good? Because we are a society with a lot of laws on the book, but we don't enforce and live lawful. So a policeman trying to control a crowd, who is he? Why are you doing that? He wicked. You know? We don't like to be told, sir, you cannot park here. So what happen? All they go and look for the criminals. Sir, yeah. We do not like order. And that's the truth. Sir, you cannot drive on the bus route. But drugs coming in the country. You know, we take that approach to law and discipline. And that type of attitude starts where? In the school.
Exactly.
And that's what you say about the education system. I say to people, if you do not fear a teacher, You wouldn't fear police.
Well, you shouldn't fear a teacher.
Well, I
You
use
respect
fear.
a teacher.
Why
And you
use
should
fear?
respect the teacher,
Yeah, I
the
use
police.
fear, quote unquote.
So you respect the police because of
Yeah.
what his position in life is. He should respect you also.
No, but you see, you fear the police because he have a gun.
Right. So you
But
shouldn't be
people-
fear any police. You should
people-
respect any police.
But people without guns,
Mm-hmm.
we don't seem to care two hoots about.
so then,
We're going to shoot me. You don't have no gun, if you understand. And when you have children with these attitudes, if we don't, listen to me, if we
well,
don't,
that level of indiscipline really begins in the home.
exactly, but Mr. Madison, if we don't know what to do with our school children, we seem not to be, you know, you hear the leader of the batting side has announced certain initiative, and that has been met with a lot of clap back. We don't want it when the police doing in the school. Let them go and look for criminal. Nah, that too harsh. The children go frightened. We what do we want as a society? And that's why I say to you, the collective good will always have to dominate, because there are some individuals who, oh my God, how they think and how they reason. They might come in your house and tell you go outside.
Correct.
I'm borrowing your house. What's up? What you doing with house? You understand?
Who are borrowing your wife for the
Yes, there are people
Wash
who,
your mouth and go outside.
unfortunately, we have reached a stage in our society where there are people who believe in that. And they believe in that. And the clap back to that, as you were saying, are a lot of killings that are questionable. Some people have not even been given the opportunity to be heard,
Right.
which is sacrosanct. And you know, in our practice, that trumps everything.
But and again, a society without order will give there will be a lot of opportunity and a lot of areas where those kind of behavior will strive.
Correct. And it will seem to be fashionable.
I'm talking about with the police and everything.
On both sides.
Yes. It will
Because
be-
remember, they are members of the society too. So they and all will start a reason. Listen to me.
Better we kill you, you know.
Yeah, better we deal with what we have to deal with, yes? And who vex loss. They and all would realize that jumping the line and taking the shortcut is the best way. Why? Because they and all have maybe realized, and I'm just postulating here, that the systems of justice don't work. I go and carry this man, arrest him, carry him to court, he outside tomorrow to terrorize me and my auntie and threaten me and send message to me. So you know what's going to happen?
Better put you to sleep. Better send you.
Correct. Because I'm fed up, do what I have to do.
Some guns we get on the road, we go say he had it.
Correct.
Put it on him.
Because I'm an officer doing my work. Good. I make my arrests. I do all what they tell me to do. And somebody decide that what I did was wrong or I didn't do the right thing. And I had to deal with that again and again and again. So you feel the frustration of even law enforcement. You know? Even if sometimes you deal with some of them, they're angry. As I tell you, they're working 72, they're working hours. Some of them, not all, are very weird. You know? That is highly stressed.
Sometimes you go in the police station, you go for, as an innocent person, you go to
Yes.
make a report and you get buff up.
You get buff up.
Yeah, you know where you get
Yeah,
buff up for.
I'm telling you, you get an
No
attitude.
real
And,
customer service.
No,
they
no.
know who he is.
yeah.
And
And
talking to you like
Yeah.
an animal.
yeah, and
I've seen that happen too.
Of course.
And that's one of the things that also speak to respect, which is why I say you don't need to fear the police, you need
Yeah.
to respect the police.
Yes.
But the police need to respect you too.
Yes.
And
It
that's-
goes both ways.
That is something that we need to, address in the police service.
Yeah.
And maybe the minister in the Baton Wicket, he could probably, I hope he's listening. I know some of his colleagues are listening often.
Yeah.
But he could probably take lessons from this, because if you really want people to respect you, you have to start to respect people. And I'm talking about the police. If you want, when you stop a man on the highway or whatever, he might have been doing something. I have seen it in other places where you get, sometimes you get stopped for a ticket and you understand exactly why you get stopped. You have no problem taking that ticket or whatever, because it was fully explained to you, it was shown to you,
Yeah.
and all the procedures were followed.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes not what happens here. Sometimes they drag you out your car, they put you to lie down on the ground, they put a foot on you,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. And people see that as a kind of disrespect too.
Yeah. So, again, remember they are also members of this society. I don't know how the training goes. I can't speak to it. I don't know how the retraining goes. Good. But you will have to, you know, as an HR practitioner, that is something that is important. How you schedule it and the work demands. I don't know how many of them get to go back or are made to go back and brush up. You know, I am a 07. I come in the force 07, and since that I just in the force, you know.
Yeah.
Now everything changed, the computer changed.
So sometimes you could understand when you see the action and some of them. You know,
Yes.
you could understand the KFC joke,
Correct.
right? You went by KFC and you go to join the police service and ask him why you come here, and he say, well, I went by KFC and they tell me I had 3 O levels.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
That a famous KFC joke.
Yes.
I heard that already. But sometimes the way some officers behave, you know, sometimes you get the impression that is exactly what happens.
So
And that is unfortunate.
So it's a tough call. And the same society that cries out for injustice is the same society that cries out for action.
Mm-hmm.
The same society that cries out against police extrajudicial killings and etc. is the
Same society. Yeah.
I will tell you, but Matterson come down here and he run down the man, and you know he shoot the man.
And the man get away.
And the man get away?
And the man went and raped that one.
Correct.
Tomorrow, and you know that kind of thing.
The police ain't doing their work. So we, you know, we police everybody's work. You know, we judge everybody's work. Then the officer ain't doing his work. He let the man go and listen to me. And the same members of the public will tell you know, both of them is friend. So it is a difficult call. It's a very difficult call, and I agree with you. We need more systems to ensure impartiality and proper procedure. And there's technology for that. There's technology. The only thing we can't do is put something in your brain. But there's technology
for everything
to
I mean,
help
everything. Technology for everything. I mean,
the image
you know,
that you should
even
portray.
when you consider the fact that I mean, you're walking on the street, you're seeing all these cameras and things, and you just thinking that a man could still kill somebody in front of them camera, and he still wouldn't be prosecuted.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have no back end, you have no back office, you have no back end
Things going missing.
administration with them cameras. You don't know who watching it. You don't know if it have a dedicated team of people there just looking like in London and thing. You have camera on you all the time. Something happened, they could tell who do it. They could bring it up, do a digitization, and the person find out who they are when they came into the country. Everything. It does not happen that way. So we just have things is like fake cameras, fake.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
just to frighten bat and take away the seed.
So to our callers, I see some of you calling, but we're going to take calls in the next hour. When we do come back from this drinks break, you will call us at 342-0081, 466-5391. We'll take calls in the next hour. But before that, we will put a question to you.
Yes.
Because we like our discussions to be structured. So it's not that I'm ignoring the calls. We really plan to open up the lines in the next hour after we come back. You will hear us talk for a little bit, not long, pose a question to you and have you chime in. But definitely this whole issue of extrajudicial killings of the police and how they do what they do. I mean, I there are times when you want to be a certain, you dream of doing a job for a day. I don't want that job. Not at any particular time. That's not a job I would want. We're going for drinks. We'll be back. Yes, and we're back, and we're gonna just discuss this issue a little more because we have something to deal with concerning CPEP. So, what do we want to find out from the pavilion today?
Well, we are hearing every day more and more that the complaint of we've been complaining for the most part of the last 5 years about the spate of crime to a large extent. But somehow we also have concerns with the way the police do things.
Right.
And we question from time to time killings executed by the police. So not taking into consideration the safety or what they would have said that they would have returned fire in some cases and that kind of thing. And there's a school of thought that says that if the government, to equalize the situation, give the police the resources to be able to prove what they are saying in relation to the reason for killing the person. And in my opinion, that tool is body cam. I'm saying that if the police use body cam, I think the government would have spent a huge amount of money in the past to provide that. I haven't seen police with it. If when you go on a beat and you end up killing somebody, then you should be made to answer for that in a different kind of way if you did not have on a body cam.
So what do we want to ask the pavilion? Do you want to ask them the issue about the body cams, or do you want to ask them the issue about if they feel some of the killings are justified? What do we ask?
All of that.
Okay, so we're going to open up the phone lines, and you've heard the preamble for the last hour concerning extrajudicial killings. I want to know from the members of the pavilion, given the crime rate and the condition of crime in the country, do you fear these extrajudicial killings, or are you, I wouldn't say in agreement because it's against the law, but do you share a level of understanding or maybe even ambivalence with some of the killings by police? Okay? Are you totally up in arms about it?
Those that may have appeared,
yes,
as though that they are shrouded in some kind of gray
area. Yeah. Or do you share a level of understanding? Let's get this caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, good afternoon.
And good afternoon to you, listeners.
Good afternoon.
What the ingredient that continues to be lacking is accountability.
Yes.
And accountability for everyone. Right? Be it a civilian, a police, whatever position or responsibility that you're holding, accountability is what is lacking. And we could get persons acting differently if we only listen to, would take actions that would in line with what they're willing to give account for. But right now, without that system in place, people will continue to believe that they can have whatever type of responsibility and not give account.
Yes, and the public will continue to have concerns about the actions of police from time to time.
Of course, and rightfully so. And the fact is, because of what we continue to see, right, some of our citizens perpetrating, it is understandable and even obvious that some suspects are going to lose their lives while the police responding to certain things. But it is not in all the time that police have the right to act in that manner, because just as how the law outlines you mustn't use a hammer to kill a fly, we have seen time and time again when the police actions were just that.
Yes.
So let me leave it there. I'll probably come back in again.
Okay, so given that comment, let's rephrase the question.
No, I mean
let's ask the question about body cams. optional or compulsory? Body cams for police officers, optional or compulsory? Is it a positive tool in your mind that will help with accountability, or you see it as something now that will inhibit police and they will be reluctant to do a particular type of act depending on the necessity of convenience?
Well, if you're reluctant
or
then
expediency.
you're doing something wrong.
Well,
if you take lethal action to protect yourself,
yeah.
right, you ain't gonna be reluctant to do that.
Why? Because remember, it's still subject to interpretation. So
Well,
you may be kind of...
Well, your body cam will show exactly what...
Exactly. So that's what I'm asking. Let's see how the public feels. Good afternoon to the one president.
Good afternoon, oh gosh. I'm very surprised to get it to so gosh, I do like. I'd already say Mr. President, so I know how important somewhere psychologically. But anyway, good afternoon. Good afternoon to the Stephen, and good afternoon to Rolando.
Yeah.
So I know the philosopher is not there. And they are hearing the psychologist, you know, hey, you're talking good, Rolando. Yeah, and Mr. Stephen, you socialist, well, you could fight up with the system plenty, yeah, Mr. Psychologist, just hand you, like I go in and hand you know. Because the truth is, you see all you're talking about there, I sit down here and I listen to all here. I try to go with God, I try to go with the politician, I try to go with the police, I try to go with you. And all how I see in the thing is that, yes, it's truth. We might have some extra, whatever you call him, I can't apply him out now, killing of the police. But let me remember something. The police come out from the society. They come out from we. It are people who go in there and really go on there to do police work and they want to look for money. Oh, papa. In consciousness of all of that, because I live in this system, I know this system. I want work to do to mind my 2 children or my 10 children, wherever it is. We go in and look for work. That ain't mean to say, I really, you always say something the other day, but you want to always say that, boy, me ain't taking that work at all. You have to go deep to see the reality and all you go in the deep, you know, but you have to see the truth out. You know, doesn't talk plenty, but go talk one straight thing. We have to see the truth that is a society we have. Take, for instance, from Cain and Abel. So, all right, so Cain and Abel, the story is still going on. That Cain and Abel story is still envy, jealousy, everything. You take my thing, I take back your thing. A gun start to come in the hole. Instead of we look to get rid of the thing that causing real problem, we asking to put more to defend house and limb and whatever way. Roll with me and all you will see what I'm talking about. Extrajudicial. Why is when you have about 5, 6 police who are killing something and then come to the ideologies where they seek to eradicate the thing, but they ain't going to confront too much of thing, you know, because thing going on, rather better we tell the people that we beaten out something so they go beyond we head less. Because if we ain't beaten out now, they go beyond we head more. So you understand is what I say and realize what the society is, and if we can't put an order that will control society just like the bachak and the ants and things, then no problem. Look how wide we change nature, you know. And moving into a fragmented, dividing society, and even while all you're talking on, I keep on telling you that all the time. That the people who educate is the people who create knowledge. So knowledge came from existence, but then learn, whatever they learn from existence, come and put it and manipulate and lead to the destruction of the earth. So all we were doing is helping them. If we who see one better don't change that, then what we helping them with, all the talking is that we're doing is to providing the system that they already set for us to rule, and we trying to help that same system to rule we. We have to move on from that, and I can't talk much, you know. There's only pell the shots, and all we could understand what really truly going on. Like, I bring him to you see something, but he ain't ready yet. For all these religious and political and all of them who have the place divided and fragmented, if we, I say again, I have a thought, and I wouldn't mind getting in this no certificate thought into a consensus of people who have education to build our mind to deal with this. Disciplines have to come to every human being to start to help them. This ain't no short-term plan here, no, that's long-term plan, medium, long-term. But I'm talking too much already. And I know all you go wake up and what I say there, and all you go tell, and I go hear what you have to say, and I go advise and think, and I go come again. But what I say there, to all who listen to me out there, this thing ain't just so. Murder in the place, not only from police, from all of we. How we changing that? Thank you, people. Thank you, my brothers. Adapt.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, Mr. President, from how I surmise it, he's on the side of the collective. He is saying that we're going to have collateral damage because we have our problem to fix. We will strive for a balance, but in the meanwhile, let's take this call. Caller, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I was listening to the program.
Yes.
What I want to say is, why the police didn't do me something, or the police didn't do you something, because we didn't look for it.
Right.
Now, what about when these fellas shoot at the police officers and them?
Yes.
Good officers. 2 army men living in the house in Lavanti. You go there, get rid of them. A police woman living in his house in Lavanti. Or the woman car, and all you get that sheet. Now, nobody do all of nothing. But now, the police in Tacarigua, he was on a crime scene last year before. The man do what? You're threatening the man. Oh, he can't go to court, this, that. The man take holiday home. The man dead up to now, nobody get hold. Nobody know who do it. You understand? 5 police went to warn a fella, they took the shell last year, to warn him. They shoot and kill one of the police. Only know that. What about when these bandits have no respect for the law? That all you in the jail, all you do all your thing. All you're threatening the law, people. You have to respect the law. Look, I am here. All you 2 gentlemen sit down there. I have to respect all you.
Yes.
All you doing something good. Now, when you're passing in Golden Grove Road and you see them buildings, how you call those buildings? You call those buildings jail. It's where the jailers is, right? You don't call them a hotel. When they come to your home, they will beat you, tie you, the elderly, take everything from your house. If they take everything from your house, why beat you for? Why tie you for? Eh? So where they're in the jail, they want good time? When they come to your house, they don't give you a good time at all. So when they why they must have a good time for? But I'm glad all the 2 fellas talking about this topic. So people can get, they can get a talk, they can get free, they can get the feelings, I know all you want to see something better for the youth, something better for the country, but they don't want it. Because why the police come in my house and do me something, or if I on the road, or you can't want to do the police something, and they don't work. So I so agree with the police and them. I mean, police that wasn't working. All they have to, the police are threatening them, or threatening the Attorney General. All they have to respect people, respect the law, respect people, respect the elderly, respect your parents. I mean, we was like that. All you have no respect for nobody. So all you have to live just like how all you treat people when all you going people home.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well, I'm in full support of Granny.
Well, yeah,
Granny say the wheat and the tears. And we have a problem.
And I talk about when a society is willing to give up the freedom.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the government or whoever didn't do what they were supposed to do in the first place.
And that's where we reached. Let me take this next caller. Hello, good day.
Good afternoon to the guys in the studio. How are you going this evening?
We're okay, sir. How are you?
Okay, listen, I get so fed up at this whole crime situation in Trinidad that is unbelievable. Listen, I just want to make one suggestion. Now, this man who does call himself president, every time he calls, he always have this problem that he trying to attack the UNC for when they say that they put all these standing ground legislation. He seems to have a problem with that. I want to say this one thing. You see a lot of the elders in this nation here who is benefiting of the crime of their children and grandchildren that's been doing, is them responsible for that.
That too.
But I tell you, them is the one who naturally provoked Ms. Kamala Persad to pass that law. And I agree with you. Because if they wasn't going in people's place and home invading and tying up and killing people for their own thing, there would have been no need for that. If you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then again, the police can't do every single thing. So you see, you have to give the people a fighting chance. Now, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people out here who defend themselves. People don't want to be responsible for nobody's life, especially people who have no profit. But if they're coming at you, let me tell you something, they're raping your daughter, they're raping your granddaughter, they're raping you. As a matter of fact, and they're taking it. But they were showing you. So when the woman sees something like that and the woman says something has to, you see, I'm going to tell you something, the criminal elements getting more results than the law.
Yes.
I'm telling you, because when they go out there to do the thing, they get in tune and they're not getting catch.
Yeah.
And make matters worse, they have members of the society afraid of them because if somebody come and do something and you know who it is and you report them, they're coming back and kill you. They come themselves, they're sending the people to do it. Understand what I'm telling you? And they are succeeding. What is the murder rate right now? Compare the murder rate and the detection rate, the murder rate higher than the detection rate. What does that tell you? The criminal elements are far ahead. You understand? So I am saying all these different things where the woman has come and pass that standing organization is the people who cause her to do that. And I said there wasn't terrorizing people, there would have been no need for that. So them is the one who caused that upon themselves. And I want to say this one thing, to the people who is involved in crime. Now, going after the young people who is involved in crime, that is not enough. I said that is not enough. You see, if the elders and I really want to help this nation, them is the one who is hiding away the criminal children and grandchildren and them. I am saying that if they start to stop giving them NIS and stop give them pension until they bring out the criminal elements where they hiding them, I bet they don't get results. No, I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you. Because when they get NIS and pension, what do you think they're going to do that? They're using like the money criminals and the country. That is what they're doing. A lot of people go like what I just said because they know that is the truth and they know you can't tell them to buy your business. That is what they're doing. They think they get money from the hire lawyer and bail and all that kind of different things. We feel again that from his government money they take in and do that. Yeah, you know I tell you, when the family and them go and break up the place and take up gas tank and all them different things, and you when you go by them, they have it in the house. You know what I'm telling you? And then the government pension and NIS, if they start to take it away from them and let them have it to wherever they hide in the community and they're going to bring them out, they will bring them out because they don't know what money.
All right, caller.
It don't work like that in society, but I understand the frustration. And I understand the frustration.
And understand the link he's trying to make between what you said with parents and families. Let's take this next call. Caller, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. First, I listen all you every evening, but I hear you talking about the police.
Yes.
Let me call, right? Did police have any right to put the foot on somebody's back?
No.
The boot on somebody's back? All right, well, that happened to one of my son.
Okay.
Right? And I didn't like that.
Right.
I went to the police complaint and it's waste of time. Right?
You see, those are things that would create...
Turn down your radio, Mom. Oh, she's gone.
Yeah,
Go
those are things that a large extent would create the lack of confidence in the system when you do not have a standard to operate by. When you operate, you profile and you operate in ways that how you expect that the criminal will operate. So I understand moms. I understand what she has to say, and
we do understand.
And these are the things that is causing the dissonance in society in relation to crime and criminality.
Let's take this caller. Caller, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you and your co-host. I agree with the question of accountability, police accountability.
Yes.
And I agree with the issue of the cameras and all that.
Yes.
But these things can't be dealt with in a vacuum, really, because you need transformation of that police service.
Correct.
And there are a number of issues that you must deal with in that police service, just like most of the other services. There's a total destruction, that might be a little too harsh, of the public institutions in this country. Everything has collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
That is the problem, and you need transformation. And I saw the police commissioner put out a crime plan. It looked good. But he also has to put out a plan to transform the police service.
Correct.
I'm awaiting that. Because Gibbs and those people in Iwaski, they tried it. It went nowhere. Some policemen, some politicians ensured that it was stopped in its tracks. So you need that. You need to deal with police culture, the values, the norms of the police officers and the way they perform their duties and all that. You have to deal with the question of corruption in the police service. You have to deal with training. All these things, all these matters that you have to deal with management.
Mm-hmm.
You have people who are senior police officers, superintendent in charge of division, and you don't know any one of them. You don't know what they do. In charge of divisions,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know. And the fact remains is that when they talk about comprehensive reform, when they talk about incremental, but there are things that they could do incrementally in the various divisions. You have a police station there. When police officers come to work, I wonder if they brief them and debrief them before they go out on duty. Go out on raids and all this. When they come in, they're working 1 to 9 or whatever it is. When they come, they put them on a parade and brief them in terms of what the duties they ought to. And these are the things that I suspect that, and I pick up that, observe that. Yes. When you had the George Floyd killing and you had the Minnesota chief of police.
Yes.
And you learned a lot from that.
Yes.
And I don't know if we don't have to reinvent any. The fact remains you have best practice. They don't go away. They don't.
All the solutions are there.
They're there, and I don't know what they're waiting for. So you need management again, proper management. Apparently they lack that. So this thing is a mess, and the piecemeal approach really is not going to help.
Exactly.
You need to look at it. You have to embrace the whole thing as a whole, right? And look at the whole thing and analyze the whole, where the strengths, where the weaknesses are. You do an analysis of the whole thing and come up with a plan in order to deal with the deficiencies within the police service.
Thank you, Kola.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
It has to be a comprehensive approach.
Yes.
Both sides. You don't look at when you look at the release from the commissioner of police, you're just hearing what the police are saying that they're going to do to criminals. You have to address, as the caller said, you have to address training. You have to address attitudes. You have to address all these things. It's like employing somebody in your workplace and onboarding them and understanding that they have to understand the culture, what they have to do, they have to understand the job description, what they could do, what they can't do, what the policies say they could do.
Yeah.
You have to understand all that, and in the same case, the police have to understand the laws too.
Well, the elderly lady did call, one in whom I'm in full support with. Actually, I'm in full support with both. Because the other described a situation in which we don't know the circumstances, if it will be claimed that they were resisting, because we have seen the public interact with the police in some very strange ways as well. That's something I think we need to teach as well.
That happens.
I realize in America, from what I see on the television, they teach you how to interact with the police. Now, that doesn't mean things will be perfect because they still have killings by the police that are extrajudicial as well. But it is taught.
But when that happens, you have accountability.
Correct.
And it does not appear, citizens don't feel confident that what you read on the papers or what the police say happen is what happened.
Yeah.
Right? Because you see large gaps.
Yeah.
If you could critically think,
you see double standards as well.
You start looking at this thing with a 360, from a 360 degree, and you say, but nah, this ain't making sense. 2 men with a gun, 100 police come
because
and you
the
shooting at the
opposite,
police.
Mr. Matheson, is a situation that is also untenable and you cannot tolerate. You cannot have law enforcement living in fear.
Well, obviously.
If you have law enforcement living in fear,
and police station are closed in the night.
Correct.
And which we see happening.
Yes. And then you would always hear the same members of the public tell you, well, you know, I went to make my report anonymously, but the boss called me. Because the boss partner is who take the report.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, as you say and a caller said, they are citizens too. They come out from the same communities as we do. So sometimes it is not...
And all that is why, to a large extent, all those things should be guarded by policies and procedures and standards. Because what you saying there, we live in the same place, but that doesn't mean that when something happens, Tom, Dick, or Harry must know the person who committed the crime must know that I get reported on. And
but that's unethical.
That's wrong. That's unethical.
That can't be.
And that's criminal as a matter of fact.
And how do we vet for ethics?
Well,
how do we vet for
let's
character?
Hear the callers. I mean, let me hear what the callers
you
have
know,
to say.
so callers, you call us and tell us about the body cam issue. Do you feel that it will help with accountability? Do you see it as a deterrent? Do you feel that it will help police do what they have to do? Or you feel that it will prevent them from really doing what they're supposed to do? Now, it's easy to say if they're doing what they're doing is legal, then why not? But remember, that whole legality is a test. That's not something you determine when you have a gun in your hand. That's the test after, whether you really did use of force justifiably. That's a test after. And to be fair to them, it is not a perfect test either. Because you could be found wanting by the procedures and the regulations, even if in your mind you did all that you were supposed to do, because maybe the camera did or did not capture the full events.
If you're sending me out and all I have is a big gun to intimidate you, and I don't have a taser, or I don't have a baton, or I don't have a pepper spray, or all the other things, tear gas, all the other things you would have in real civilized society to subdue a crowd or to subdue a situation that might become untenable before you use a firearm. These are the reasons why we have these kind of problems.
Okay, let us take a call. Caller, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, gentlemen. I was watching an incident take place there in America since February. And the individual now decided to come forward. But in the vehicle was have a camera, dashboard camera. And the officer then pulled him over. She was asking the officer then, why? They pulled him over. What is the reason why? The officer then was saying, come on the vehicle. He said, no, I'm not coming out the vehicle. So he tell the officer, call the supervisor. Like in some towns or some countries in America, if you get pulled over, your right is to ask the two officers, all the officers who pull you over. If you do not want to speak to them, call somebody else. And he did that. He said, call supervisor, I want to speak to the supervisor. They deny him that. Oxy gas, cuff him in the face, pull him out of the vehicle. And them was also have on body cameras. So I say that to say this. Our incident take place since February, and I'm doing it now. And right now, it is a big uproar. in a state in America, they have big uproar. And the cameras showing what the camera showing in the vehicle. So both of them marching. So yes, it is something might let the officer go a little easy, but it is not because it's your mind thinking. It's you yourself how temper you get out there. Because even also you have to be conscious of what you doing. That I'm a cameraman, because some officers don't care in the camera on them. They still briefing with the camera on them. So it is something, it will work. It is something what the country need. It is something what the police officers need in Trinidad and Tobago, so that we will get some kind of clarity when things happen. But overall that, the police service today are filthy, they are tampered, they are not to be trusted, they need training how to speak with the public. You might see the public have a disrespectful, but the police, I said no. The police more disrespectful to the public. You ever go in a roadblock, you said they speak to you, they ever say when they pull you over, or they just treat you, you ever get that kind of experience. Who get experience could talk about it. The police have no training how to deal with the public in Trinidad and Tobago. They have no training how to deal with disputes. Nothing at all they have training to do. One thing they have training to do, shoot. Then answer our questions after. Gun on the foot, gun on the hand. So the police, the community overall lost confidence in the police service itself. That is why it is harder for the police to get information on the ground. As one of police said here, I from the ghetto, I know it. That if something happens, people rather go by the so-called gang leaders than go by the police station. Why so? They will have go by the so-called gang leaders than go in the police station. Apostasy in this country, say the most gangs is in the police service in Trinidad and Tobago. The most gangs. And once we have a society of a police corrupted, because I will tell you, they say, it's a few good ones, not plenty. Not plenty. Police today is not going into the police service to protect and serve. It's for a big gold chain, a mortgage, a car, a easy car, easy loan. You have only uniform. It's a rank. It's a rank. It's a style. It's not to honor by uniform. It is not to be fair and justice as you go out to do your duties. It's to go out there and be miserable to the society and then say the society. No, because how could you today telling me that you is given awards to a police officer who gave 1,400 tickets out there? That's a police officer who helped children cross the road. That's a police officer who solves crime, who is a community police that when they say in the community is love, he playing football, he playing cricket, he's showing love, he's showing that hey, you can do something better. No, look how much police officers on Facebook doing TikTok thing with the clothes, putting on the clothes, putting on the boots. And I mean, all these things have to stop. You can't be on TikTok. I mean, then your jersey come on here, your pants come on here, and it's a plaything, it's a rank. I am telling you, it's a rank. So, the police service overall, as I tell you, is a little few ones, and that is my point of view. Not much, is a little few ones. We're good, we're honest, and really out there to protect Trinidad and Tobago. But the majority of them, they need to revamp, clean out, training. You need to go and learn to speak, learn to read, learn to write, learn to deal with the public, learn the law. So much of things that they need to do. So why we bring in a decision to go after the bad boys on them and the criminals on them, we also need to bring things to board for the police to the same way that we bring after to go to that. So I want to say the gentleman who have on the glasses, take my number please and give my phone up please. Okay?
So what do you want?
He wants you to give him
Gentleman
a call.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, give my call. Take my number and text me. Right? Thank you very much.
Yes. Caller, hello?
Yeah?
You could text the phone you on. Just text your name and your number.
On this?
Yes.
This here?
Yes.
Okay then. No
All
problem.
right. WhatsApp, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hey, I got it to my brothers.
Good afternoon.
A very good topic. Now, first to begin, a police girl, you're going to transfer to be a police officer. You see, our attitude course is very important in training. All police must take an attitude course in these times. You understand?
Yes.
And next thing too, people are, what are we really seeking for? Peace, police, calm down the bandits and peace, and that is it? No. What we're seeking for is justice. You understand? And we're not getting justice. People are talking about obey the law and this and that. Laws applied to the extreme is the greatest. Is the greatest injustice you could ever come across. We're talking about obey law. These people are them just making law to keep me quiet from getting justice. That is what they're making laws for. And people, there's the law, there's the law. A brake light in the car is a law. This is, little simple things. You understand? It's law. And the rich and the tyrants and them doing what they want and they're not doing them nothing. Law is for poor people. You see the cameras on here? My friend, it's so important that these police and you must know when a police force in corruption. You don't want to wear camera because you're in corruption. You understand? At the end of the day, my friend, you see, in New York, this man, all they would know his name is Giuliano, whoever his name is, who clean up New York.
Giuliani.
Right. You know what he put in the police on them? Go and interact with the people. Be friends with them, line with them, talk with them to gain your trust. And don't feel it's just the police who clean up New York, 80% of clean up in New York is the people do that, The people start to tell the police, they start to say they kill me for nothing, well, all they kill me for something. You see that house there? That house there have real guns. You see that place there? They're selling the drugs. You see them? Them is the bandits. Them is the bad boys who killing people. It's the people what clean up their own neighborhood, the place, Not really police and them, and the police and them was backing them. But if you understand what I mean.
And that's what they're saying there, caller. I agree with you 100%. You need to have that kind of interaction with the people. The people must understand that they are the first security officer. If you travel on any subway, you come out in the airport, anywhere in New York or any part of America, you will see signs saying, if you see something, say something. If you see something, say something. And that's one of the reasons why you have so much crime being solved, because people learn to have confidence in the national security system. Right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is justice. We want, because if somebody reports a crime and say to see that person, next thing you know, they're sending the friend, as I said, the underdressed, and they're sending the friend to kill them.
No,
or some kind of thing. That we want justice. We're not getting justice. For anything we do, we're not getting justice. Justice is the main thing in everything. Justice is the backbone of any society,
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And you see, when we start to aim with the eye, and shoot with the mind, and kill with the heart, like consciousness. You understand? Then we will start to move forward. Instead of our gun in hand, then no. You aim with your eye, you shoot with your mind, and you kill with your heart, that is being conscious of what's going on. But at the end of the day, a gun is as good or as bad as the man who behind it. My friend, you have a good day.
Thank you,
Yes.
caller.
Thank you, caller. Made some sense.
Caller, good evening.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Good afternoon.
One time, I hear a caller say this about pension, deal with our pension, have us pay more attention to our thing. I want to send that fellow to the holiday. I want to send that fellow to the holiday. I think more than that, we're talking solution.
Right.
I want to see parents going in prison and taking care of the family. For instance, stop cooking food. Let somebody have to leave Mayaro and come down to Aruka to bring a sandwich for the children. And all they must bring is a half spread and a glass of water. We are too lenient with crime. We mentioned a while ago about the merit point. That was a way of getting our drivers to be a little more disciplined in what we have learned. I don't know if parents should get a parental course or how we should handle this. But I blame it to sincerely and squarely, or the majority on parenting, sir. Parenting, the first police, the first judge, the first lawyer, the first pastor is at home. Is at home. Now, with reference to, I hear a caller just mention how we dealing with the police and the police is so we are calm. I don't have a problem with it. What I look at is some of us attitude towards the police, like we have no respect for the police. And it ignites the police or cause the police to exercise, okay. So that I hope that when the police start to wear this body cam, they discipline the citizen as well for not obeying the law, not talking loud or being loud and aggressive, or as the case may be. My friends, I want to see more stringent laws being implemented towards the citizenry. That's the only way I see we could deal with crime. We talk in crime, but we are not serious about crime. All in Tobago, they want to block the road, they want to walk over here, when the licensing officers and the police crack down on crime, on motorists, when they bring out this thing the other day. When they run a rampage, why we drivers don't do just what we're supposed to do? If you have your vehicle in order, you feel the police still charging you, right? And this
So
thing,
they want to work over on what? On the licensing officers?
yes, even what Duke say, let her go back home. Go back to my dad. Or they harassing people. But I know a lot of us drivers is doing irregular things, or we're not doing the right things. And with reference to crime, how come they implement a serious law like how they did with motorists? You want to if you see the population, you hear we talking about the home invasion law. We only talking about that when you see they implement that and that come about. Plenty we go about oh God. Because we are not really serious. Crime is like a business for some of us. So I am saying let's go back to discipline. Let's go back to being real. Let us go back to giving a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. Let's go back to where a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago telling me they're not working. And I'm seeing all kind of people coming here and getting work. And you're saying you're not working. I believe that is what the URP and the CPF and things for. Get them employed. Get them employed. It should be an offense for a man that hold a chance to go ID card and it's not working. And it's not working. You may not get what you want, but you could hold on to something until something better comes. So my friend, again, let me say nice program. I always like the program that you all keep. But we the people must do better.
Okay.
Must do better.
Agreed.
We could do it if we try. We could try a little harder.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Friend, listening.
Yes. We have our views and
you see, at the end of the day, what I'm hearing from most of the people is that they don't have a problem with the status quo. What they do have a problem with, or what they are thinking, is that maybe what the police do. If the police, the respect had to start with the system.
Yeah.
And therefore, if the police is showing you the kind of respect they need to show you, then, and you're not showing that respect, then there must be consequences.
Yeah.
But it had to start with you.
Yeah.
Right? So it is critical to understand that for us to, in this kind of society, for these things to happen, maybe the body cameras and legislating the use of cameras also is important, because I've seen situations where police are doing their work, good or bad, and the public is filming, and the police destroy the footage, destroy the cameras and things. If you think you were doing what you were supposed to be doing, or you think you were doing the right thing,
you shouldn't touch your property, period.
You shouldn't want to
It's not a gun.
Camera. It's not a gun.
Yeah.
You know? So that says something, and hence the reason why I'm always an advocate for body cam, because to me that will solve a lot of the problems that we have in terms of the question of police and not doing what they should be doing or how they should be doing it, and standards.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hey, good evening, the Empires. How you guys doing today?
Yeah, good so far.
All right. So this is the thing, right? You guys travel a lot, and you guys gone all over the world, right? So you know about in America here. For a black person like me and yourself, you know, we get pulled over for no reason, right? And sometimes you be driving and they pull you over for no reason. But the thing is, when we do challenge it, if you don't have your body camera, if the officer who pulled you over don't have his footage, we win the case. And I have money to get if it's any form of violence against me.
Exactly. So it's always, in Trinidad and Tobago, we still have your word against the police. But it should be your word against the camera.
Exactly. So
you understand?
They must have that body camera. They must have it, Mr. Matheson. They cannot doctor that footage. And anytime lapse in that footage, I win the case. And I have money to get.
And that happens in the US, but it doesn't necessarily happen in Trinidad. And what we're saying is, we need to have a system so that everybody will have a certain kind of trust in the system. Trust is what you want to know. Trust is what will solve the whole problem, you know, because then it will be easy for you to talk to the police. It will, and know that with confidence that what they say will happen, right?
And you'll be mindful how you talk to them.
Yes,
because your interaction
will have
always
consequences
be
too.
part
Yes.
of it.
So I mean, to me, I don't know who not seen it. I mean, why it's not happening? Who's afraid of it? But we need accountability.
Yeah, we do have an accountability issue, and I totally agree with you there. I'm in total agreement with that. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, and the thing about it, we face a lot of discrimination here. Like for instance, I went to the mall one time and I had on a blue shirt, right? T-shirt.
That is in Miami where you are?
Yeah.
Right.
And somebody did a shoplifting. right? A black guy. And he had on a blue shirt. And when the cops and them come, they stop me. I say, so like all of you looking the same way then?
So they say you have a bandit face.
Yeah. So that is discrimination we face here, but yet
Yes.
still we still have confidence in the police service. When we call the police 911, in 5 minutes, 6 minutes, they are here.
Not only them coming, fire service. I mean,
fire service,
everybody
ambulance,
coming, ambulance, everybody coming.
Ambulance, everybody coming, yeah. And although we face that discrimination, we still have a sense of respect for them and a sense of appreciation. And with the social media and all that, with the cops and them doing, let me tell you, that is the way how they get into the community and get back that sense of confidence in the police service.
Yeah.
And I know the time coming before I break it. And the reason why in New York crime went down, they have a thing in New York named no duty to retreat in a dwelling. You could use excessive force in a dwelling.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, if you see criminals and you say, well, here as a witness protection is very safe enough for you and your family here.
All those things are what? Yeah, those are
trust.
things that builds trust in a system, criminal justice system.
And one more thing before I leave, like let's say three of us, you, Mr. Matheson, you, Mr. Ronaldo, and myself, and let me say we three police officers. But then you and you, Mr. Matheson, do a crime, thief or do whatever, and we was your officer called on duty, and you see that as your family, you have a right to remove yourself from that case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Conflict of interest, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Conflict of interest. All right, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap up this matter because we're going to a break, and then when we come back, we get into the CPEP matter for the last hour. Mm-hmm. But definitely, from all accounts, we do have a problem of accountability, as you've rightly called it.
Most significant.
Yes,
end of the
and
process.
I think that's where we have our problem.
And that's where we have our problem.
Yeah,
right?
As in other spheres of the public service, maybe even in the teaching service, all the other service. Yeah,
that kind of thing.
We need to change our bars.
In the 1960s,
yeah,
that kind of thing.
We're still doing the same recruitment mechanisms, so more or less, even in the abundance of new information and new methodologies. So we're going for a drinks break. When we come back, we're dealing with some matters of state. Thank you for the last hour. And in this, our final hour, we're going to continue dealing with what in general has to treat with fiduciary responsibility of boards. And let me say that if this is a turning point in our government affairs
and governance
of Trinidad and Tobago, I welcome it.
And then the Baton side had to take some putting some runs on the board.
Yes, and the chips will have to fall within me. And I must say it signals good things if this trend continues.
Yeah.
If this trend of opening up decisions made by state agencies to scrutiny and holding people accountable.
Holding boards accountable.
Yes. If this is a consistent trend from here on, we'll have to see. Then it is applaudable. And I think when the gentleman comes tomorrow, we will ask him if this could be put in writing to all members of all boards, that this particular team, this batting team, will ensure that their responsibility to the entities to which they serve or they are nominated to serve remains sacrosanct above all things. So if that is something that is going to happen from now on, then we're going to be happy. So in dealing with the issue of fiduciary responsibilities, we have a media release from the CPEP company, right? Committed to Transparency and Integrity. And we're going to read excerpts of the document and we're going to refer to others. August 7, 2025. CPEP welcomes the judgment of the High Court in the matter brought by Eastman Enterprise Limited to stay the court proceedings as a result of the contractor's failure to respect and honor the alternative dispute resolution mechanism in the contract, ADR. While the company has emerged victorious, it is extremely concerned about the fraudulent misrepresentation made to the board and cabinet that cabinet had granted approval to extend over 300 contracts with its core contractors for a period of 3 years ending in 2029. It considers this to be a most serious matter as it sets a dangerous precedent for corporate governance. We take special notice of the fact that the learned judge has seen it fit to refer this matter to the Director of Public Prosecutions, the DPP, for his attention. CPEP stands ready, willing and able to assist the DPP, the Anti-Corruption Bureau and the Fraud Squad with a thorough and urgent criminal investigation into the matter. The company's board of directors was deceived into extending over 300 contractors' contracts, thereby exposing the government of Trinidad and Tobago to expenditure in the tune of 1.4 billion. This decision was taken by CPEP's board on the basis of information that was allegedly provided by ex-line minister for CPEP to the now ex-chairman, Mr. Edwards. The cabinet had authorized and approved the extension of all CPEP core contracts. CPEP's executive management and its board of directors acted on the false premise that it was simply ratifying and implementing a cabinet directive and instruction. We know this to be untrue. It is clear that Mr. Edwards' unambiguous representation to CPEP's board left no room for doubt, as evidenced by his message to the CEO, Mr. Kitedi. And I'll pause reading from there. There's more.
So what we see here is a situation where first we must say that the CPEP company, under the Baton Sides administration, the Kamala Processor administration would have won the matter that was brought against it.
Yes.
For the termination of the contractors.
For failure to adhere to the ADR dispute resolution clause, which formed part of their contracts.
Right. So if your contract say that to solve a matter before you go to court, you have a dispute, before you go to court, you should adhere to the alternative dispute resolution feature in the contract, then maybe you should have gone there first.
So that was bad advice.
Yeah, so it was bad advice.
To Eastman.
Yeah, it was bad advice.
I don't know who was doing the advising.
I know I saw all these, the field inside, all these politicians, the bicycle man, coal pot man, and all of them.
Yeah, the public, and we get set up plenty times with these jacket and tie people. That was bad advice.
To a large extent, they set up all them CPAP workers. Like,
the contractors, yes.
Yeah, contractors.
And they use Mr. Eastman as the fall guy.
Right.
So go ahead.
So the first, so that was, they lost that.
Right.
But what was even more critical,
yes,
and we saw that in Yobita,
yes,
was that the judge is saying maybe you should refer this matter to the DPP, because the premise on which the contracts were renewed in the first place was a false premise, and that premise was on the basis of a cabinet note, which did not exist.
Yeah.
And that to me is unfortunate.
Well, it is more than unfortunate. You're quite generous with that word. That is diabolical.
Yeah. Because as we all know, a cabinet note comes from the executive, and that cabinet decision is what guides the board. And so you can't take decisions without that. And remember, our board has, you saw what happened to the Sport TT decision,
the EB matter, yes.
Where the judge would have pierced the veil, and went directly to the directors and held them responsibility as having a fiduciary responsibility.
Yes.
The same thing is what is being suggested here. How much billion? $1.4 billion. So I think board members has to be very careful.
Yes, and all
to make the decision.
Yes, forward. People going forward.
This is very, very, very. This is very instructive, I would say.
Yes.
In terms of governance, corporate governance, in boards and government agencies, and this is important that we understand that. So where do we go from here with the CPAP workers?
CPAP has been placed in an extremely embarrassing and compromised position. The former chairman made an explicit statement to the CEO that Cabinet had granted approval for the extension of these contracts. Only a member of Cabinet will know if such decision was in fact taken. CPAP CEO, Mr. Eddy, was clear in his evidence to the court that Mr. Edwards confirmed that he was advised by then Minister that Cabinet had granted an approval for the extension of these contracts. This was the basis upon CPAP's management and board acted.
That Minister name coming up, Alwari name coming up plenty. Boy.
Yes, and now will be survival of the fittest. Because if this matter goes to the DPP, the gentleman who allegedly took instructions from the ex-line minister.
He will have to say who. And
he will have to prove it.
He will have to give evidence of that.
Because he don't say who he got it from. But that has to be evidenced. So far, the evidence seems to suggest that Mr. Eddy
there was no cabinet note on it.
Mr. Eddy proved that the chairman told him, because they showed the WhatsApp messages in the group. So saying. And I read where he said there was
all of this happened on the eve of election, so
which makes it even more foolish.
Yeah, so that says a lot about how our money was administrated by the feeling side, and that to me is of grave concern.
Yeah, and this should be a test case for all boards, because even though we're dealing with CPAP now from the former government, it will have a CPAP board and all the other boards that exist. And hopefully they can stand the test of scrutiny, because you all are setting the landmark case for this. Good? You all are setting the precedent that there's a serious fiduciary responsibility from board members owe to their organizations, especially when it comes to decision making and spending of public funds. And this figure is preposterous. The implications, they have $1.4 billion. It's not a few million and a couple 100,000 that sometimes we tend to, you know, overlook or play big and small. This is not a big and small.
Yeah.
We can't trivialize. Thank you. That's the word. We cannot trivialize the impact of this. So it has now come to light that who really set up the contractors?
But a lot of that was going on. A lot of that was going on the eve of elections. You know, persons were, and this happens all the time.
Well, we heard it before.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
We heard the accusation of the batting side.
Probably on both sides.
Yes.
But, you know, one side is very good at amplifying certain things.
Yes.
While when in the electioneering.
Yes.
For some reason, it didn't work this time around.
Yes.
And they end up on the feeling side.
Yep.
Right?
But they lost the wicket.
They lost the wicket.
Yeah.
And the public now is now awakening to all these atrocities that was taking place with public funds, and that is telling, in my view, it is something we should learn from as politicians on both sides.
Yes, because it's about governance. And you're right. This is not a party issue, and this is not a forum where we want to be discussing, because we watching cricket long time. We see what both sides do given a chance. Good.
And tomorrow we have a man from on the batting side who will be sitting with us.
Yes.
And we would want to hear what is his position on this, because he has been a proponent of
transparency,
certain kind of transparency,
yes, and good corporate governance, yes,
and that kind of thing for years.
Yes.
So you'd want to hear what he have to say. I agree with him.
Yes.
I agree with what the government is doing now. That is the batting side.
Yes.
But you know, this has a lot of implications.
No, you have to hold yourself to the same standard, and that is where the application of the thing will become critical, because it's one thing to say what should happen and what shouldn't happen and what should happen, but let's see now what is going to happen. You in the wicket now, you know. They're not batting anymore.
But what to me is, and what to me is critical, is that the batting side restructured our program. And I've always said, and I said it today to a colleague of mine,
definitely,
that maybe the government could say, if you had 300 CPAP contractors, multiply that by $30,000 per person a month. See how much millions you'll be saving every year. If you take 15 of those persons and you make them area managers, and you get them $20,000 a month, just saying. Right? You wipe out that whole, you take away that whole thing. You make it a system like, say, similar to URP but different, more structured. And then you add a little more money to the normal CPAP worker pay.
Yes, I agree with that.
You add a little more money because you're saving some money there. You add a little more money to their pay.
Yeah.
And overall you'll save, and then you make the program a little more productive by allowing them to work some more and you're giving them structured work to do. So they have to keep, a community have to be spick and spank. It must be looking like the airport when you're driving from the airport in Heathrow or something like that.
Because I swear sometimes I watch and I see CPAP workers stand up next to URP workers, stand up next to corporation workers.
Yes.
All doing basically
the same thing.
The same sort of task. You know, or in the same little area.
Right.
A couple feet away from each other, just the jersey different. So somehow we need to realign these three entities.
But you know what? The URP is poster to poster.
Yeah.
You know them. I mean, that is ghost. That is ghost extraordinary.
And we do admire and we see value in the contribution of CPAP. But really and truly, the government will do well to send a better signal to the nation.
And if the program was set up initially to wean people off that the benevolence of government in terms of make work and that kind of thing, but help people on unemployment relief kind of thing, then it should have a training. Well, that in itself is training. We have plenty need for people, maintenance workers in those kind of areas all over, right? We could put them in the schools. We could, I mean, so many things they could do.
Yeah. And they can supplement each other because we still have poorly kept
over
government
time, give
buildings.
them a loan to buy a waka or two,
Yeah.
and move on. And
We
they
still
bring more
have
people in the project.
poorly kept government offices, buildings. We still have poorly kept schools. MTS, who has their own issues, may have equipment issues and they can deal with the help.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're in a savannah or you're in a community, you see the savannah and they're waiting on the corporation to cut it because the tractor down.
Yeah.
And you have URP workers and CPEP workers, and so there needs to be a little more cohesion and integration and thought behind these entities, because there may be areas of overlap.
Our empire, fellow umpire,
Yes.
TV umpire, who is here with us, he would have indicated the real structure and the tenets of body program
In its origin.
In its origin, but it hasn't remained.
Well, it morphed into something else.
Morphed into a kind of
a
creature that is now trying to challenge government law when it really wasn't supposed to be so in the first place.
Yeah.
Challenge government in terms of its ability, its prerogative to revise and change the program and fix it and that.
Because and we say again to the powers that be who are listening, and we will say that to the gentleman tomorrow, we will understand that, and that's why I told you about crime. We will understand that you consider this to be a serious issue only by evidence. And the evidence will be how you hire those workers. You see, once we see your HR practices line up, and their roles, rights, responsibilities, their compensation, their benefits. That is you are serious. You're an IR and HR expert. You know recruitment of top quality. You know what it looks like.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't be looking at recruitment here, because what we're looking at is probably saving some lives, putting food on the table. It's a social program.
Yes.
But at the same time, it must have some way to wean you off the program. It must have some way to make you a better person, train you. It's an element of training if we go according to how the program was designed in the first place. So it must have some level of, revolving, people moving off the program and new people coming on, so that everybody will get a bite of the cherry and everybody will get an opportunity to get into business. Or train in that particular area alone after the process to buy a waka, to do certain things and,
Yeah, but my point remains, structure is what will tell you this. You could have any illustrious idea, but if you don't see this relevant structure, that's what I'm telling you. You know, and we know from IR, when a job is very serious and when the job ain't too serious. You could tell when you start to talk to the worker about the employment contract, what they know, what they don't know, what in it, what not in it. It resembles something. And we are saying that if this is supposed to be developmental, then it will resemble that.
Yeah.
But nothing about it in its present
everything
incarnation.
in Trinidad has become political after a time.
Correct.
And this minister or this politician or whoever say are sending you to CPEP, they call up the man who they get the CPEP contract, hey, I want you to employ XYZ. Because really is a means sometimes of developing your voter bank, a means of probably giving a man a little food to eat, but it must have some kind of system and some kind of structured standards that would govern the program and would say how things should work. And I think in the initial stage, how it was set up, it was really set up to be that way.
Yes.
But it didn't end up so.
After a while, things lapse.
Right? Hence the reason why men could have get on the eve of election contracts, and when cabinet wasn't even sitting. That's just crazy.
Parliament was prorogued.
Parliament was prorogued, one AC. Yeah. But yeah, so the thing is, we have to understand that, and we have to understand what is judgment and what this release is saying, and what are the consequences for directors now and directors in the future in state-owned state-owned companies.
CPEP welcomes the referral of this matter by the High Court to the DPP. Sworn affidavit evidence has already been given by CEO Mr. Keith Eddy and ex-chairman Mr. Joel Edwards. Unfortunately, the senator, who has been very vocal about this case, did not file any evidence on this important issue as it relates to the alleged fraud perpetuated against the company. We therefore call upon him to clear the air in public interest. CPEP remains committed to the principles of transparency, integrity, and accountability.
You want to see the cabinet note?
As a responsible corporate body that is funded by taxpayers, we have a duty to ensure that we serve the public interest in an honest and responsible manner. These are nice words, huh? But for the representation that Cabinet approved the extension of over 300 core contracts, the company would not have taken such a decision in the days leading up to a general election. CPEP therefore intends to seek legal advice on this matter and shall leave no stone unturned, because it is determined to get to the truth.
So let's hear what the callers have to say.
Just now, if the company was deceived into taking this decision, then there will be legal consequences and the chips will fall where they must. So this is a statement quite comprehensive coming out from CPEP.
And you remember what the Attorney General said?
Yes.
Some of them guys.
Yes.
Coming for you.
Yes. So we will want to engage our pavilion now, but
see now, somebody calling.
Yeah, we're going to pose a question. And the question we'd want to pose is that would you like to see greater penalties imposed on directors and members of state boards who do not adhere to their fiduciary responsibilities?
It has not been a custom in the past.
Yeah.
To like pierce the veil by the court.
Yeah.
But but these two examples, if board members and politicians and whoever understand that the court now could hold you responsible as having a certain kind of fiduciary responsibility to the corporation, then you would be more careful.
So do we want to see greater accountability placed on state boards and members of state boards? Call us on 3420081 466-5391. Do we want to see greater accountability and responsibility? Caller, good afternoon.
Good evening.
Yes, good afternoon.
Well, yes, that was a long question.
No, I changed it, sorry. I just want to know if we want to see greater accountability and responsibility placed on members of state boards.
Well, isn't that there already?
Well,
isn't that the norm?
It is there in words, but the practice of it has been few and far between.
So you want to find out if the practice of it, because it's there already.
Yeah, it's there already, yeah. Do we want to see more things like this?
Well, if it's there, obviously it's there for a reason, of course.
Okay.
That question is, but what you were talking about, not that question. You were speaking about something you read out, right?
Yes.
Weren't you reading that for a reason? That is a report, right?
It's a media release sent to media houses.
All right, and that is concerning
CPEP and the court judgment.
So do you agree with the court judgment? judgment?
Yes, we did say we agreed with the court, the dictates of the court, and the court decided that, you know, the matter was wrongly placed there because there was an agreement with the contractors that if they had a dispute, they must go to ADR, which is Alternative Dispute Resolution. That was that is part of the contract. So, but the greater part of the judgment spoke about misrepresentation on behalf of a member of the board to the CEO, and there was a recommendation to send that to the DPP for possible criminal investigation.
So, Kola, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, because you go in there and then you ask another question. Yeah, well, yes, I agree with the judgment and everything, and it's not possible. I don't think, did it say possible, or it is going to the where it's supposed to go?
No, it's going there, but I said for possible criminal,
right,
possible criminal. We don't know. It will. The investigation will say. The investigation may prove that is no. It will go to the DPP. He alone determines that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But Mr. Mitchell?
No, Bigfoot not here.
He's not here today. That
who? Mr. Rollick and
yes.
Mr. Matheson.
Yes.
I'll get tired when you all. But I'm so interested in when you read out all that and speak so long about it. There are so many things that comes out of it, you know what I mean? And the question
what you got
so
what you
long
got from
and
it? What you got from it? And how you what's your thoughts on it?
So many thoughts, like you all saying, didn't have you want to see what it is you wanted to see, what it is the man say he didn't have?
He did not have the board note, the cabinet note.
Well, it's not that he didn't have, there was none.
There was none, correct.
Right, and I like it to say that plain. Because you get me confused. I say, wait, they found the note? There is none.
Yes.
But anyway, we are a wait and see country.
Yes.
So according to everybody, wait and see.
Okay.
After everything, we will wait and see. So when things, get more explicit, I might be able to say something. Thanks a lot.
No problem. So callers, tell us if we want to see stiffer penalties for members of state boards. Do we want to see stiffer penalties for members of state boards who, according to the law and the Companies Act, have a fiduciary responsibility to the members of the agency and the enterprises which they represent and they head, and they have a responsibility of doing due diligence. It's a very high threshold. You can't say you think and you didn't know.
And of course, spending the public funds with instructions,
correct,
which would be the instructions from the executive.
Yeah, and we know how commonplace some of these accusations are, right? But maybe we are turning a new corner in our politics, in our governance, where we actually going to try and follow the money trail, because the EB matter took a while, because that took some years, as a matter of fact, to reach where it had to go. They was done in parts, and now we have the CPEP matter, which recently was brought to light, and this would have been a different story had the contracts been allowed to expire as they should have, and now we would have only been dealing with rehiring. Unfortunately, that did not happen. So somebody had to put a stop to the contracts, and according to you, I would use your metaphor, somebody had to bell the cat, and it wasn't nice. There was a fallout. There is a fallout with the workers. They have families. We are quite aware. They have responsibilities. We are quite aware. They have jobs, and they have well, not jobs because they're out of jobs, but they have financial obligations as well. school is going to open, etc., etc. So belling the cat comes with some consequence. And if you're following what is going on social media, even in the so-called communities that are dominated by the batting side, they complaining too, which shows you that it's a fair system in that everyone is affected. It is not only people on one side of the corridor affected. All CPEP workers are affected because all those contracts have been since rescinded, that program put on pause.
So I wait with a bated breath to see what the restructuring would look like.
Right.
If it was worth the wait.
Yeah.
And how government will proceed. Well, we know the government has no money until the budget.
Yes.
But it will be interesting to see how that element...
And that is what will tell us whether we're going down the same line, the same road, just we taking the back track, we taking the back pass, or the back route.
So yeah, so the baton side has some gymnastics to do.
Correct, because the public is looking at reform. You talk a nice talk, you print document, you say you want to do things the right way, and this is a different governance. You say this is a different government, and we're going to do things the right way. The captain of the baton side says that she's not the same person from many other regimes.
Yeah, I mean, we are confident in her. Yeah, we have our goodwill.
And so far, we have to take her at her word. You know, and she has been seemingly trying to do things different. She can't do it alone, but she did give the nation the pledge.
So far, the baton side, the points and runs on the board.
Yeah,
On the board,
this is good.
Yeah, this runs on
this
the
is
board.
good for governance, and our only problem is our consistency. You know, but we have to allow that to happen. We have to allow that to happen and hold them to account. Nothing is wrong with holding them to account. They too must not see that as an attack, just like the independent senators. Good. You know, somebody asking you to account is not necessarily an attack.
No.
You know, no, we are
right
sometimes very mischievous with misinformation, but you will get that. You will get sensationalism and
especially those who was on the field side who knew where the ball went, why it went there, but they're still asking, why are you looking?
I heard they talking about crime, and crime is out of control, and you know that is true. You don't get a pass with crime, nobody, because that's loss of life. You know, how much you expect in 2 months? I don't know. They say, well, if it was the bowl inside,
and leave no money.
Yeah, if it was the bowl inside, what would have happened? What happened? But they didn't have 2 months. They had 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's different because nobody was pressing the bowl inside after 2 months. Nobody. We were told the wheels of justice turns slowly. We were told that. So I hope the baton side doesn't overpromise and underdeliver in going through some of the issues and some of the errors.
Well, of course, as umpires, our job is to say you're out.
Correct.
So far, we say is that you hit a 4, you hit these are 6 here.
Yeah. And there was some no balls. Correct. Yeah. Because it was very, very questionable how you did what you did.
This is a legal 6 here.
Yes. This is a legal 6. Correct. This is straight. You know, we don't have to watch the ropes to see if the ball hit the rope or bounce before the rope. They went straight over the rope. Yes, this went straight over the rope. Because we, the whole public, the entire public was questioning the reason for the shutdown. Is it political? Is this a witch hunt? But now the information coming out of the court says there were legitimate concerns. And apart from concerns,
public funds.
And there was seemingly a degree of mischief.
Exactly.
Upon which a decision was made. Now again, we spoke about this yesterday in relation to Mr. Warner's issue. We have a problem with documents. And if you
see, what we have a problem more with is political victimization.
Yes.
And smart man isn't.
Yeah.
You have a problem with that?
We have a problem with that. We have a problem with...
So people do things based on who the other side is, and you know, that kind of thing. And I mean, we have to be more impartial.
And for all those who are very critical of the working class, for all those who are very critical of the public service and the common workers, CEOs just get pressure too. And if the CEO could say he get pressure from a certain call and he was misled by the chairman, Mr. Madison, this is not the $100 workers, eh? You see how high up the food chain these people are. If they could go through this kind of bacchanal and, let's say, quote unquote, mix up, what do we leave for the average worker with the worker? Why do you think we have ghost gang then? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, when we do. Caller, good afternoon.
Good evening again.
Yes.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, caller.
You all were speaking about the CPEP.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you're hoping that it's not it's really going down like a witch hunt and thing.
Yes.
If I know my party and I know the UNC, from the time they stopped CPEP, I thought people knew. I don't know about this thing what you're reading out there.
Yes.
But I know that my party is looking to revamp, to revise, to get it better than what they saw.
Yes.
Or what it is. I find that is so normal from the time and the way they were speaking, and if people listen instead of everybody running them out, they would understand that CPEP was under just like all other boards, most of the boards. So here, I think it's Matheson saying, and it might go. It will be going to all other boards eventually. It might be this time, it might be our time, but it will reach. CPEP is just the thing now. Everybody knows that there's all kind of things mishap in there, and when whatever they do, obviously, they won't be coming with the same old thing. They're not mad people. They won't be doing the same thing, putting back the same thing again. Obviously, unless they turn mad. I don't know if they do it well, they'll be mad. But when it come again, it will be, you have to dig out and see about, and I know the UNC got in that. They will know how to rectify, right? Things. And I know it's going to come back bigger and better.
Yes.
Yes, you remember you have to break sometimes to build.
Yes.
So of course people will go through and they will, and this is what I was saying before election, if UNC wins, it's not a one day come into wave, we good, you know. You have to go through, you have to go through the hard times, you have to go through plenty, but it's for the greater good. And that is what you have to study. It is for it is what they aim and meet. It is not something they create for you to go through a bad time.
Yes.
It's not something they're going to implement and say, well, all here, we're going to this to put on a pot. You know, no. It's what they met there. And it's like if you meet a stink place and they say, look, we have to throw away everything, might be a valuable thing to you, but you have to throw it away because it stink.
Yes.
Right? So you clean up, and put things that are better.
Yes.
That is my version. It don't have to be anybody else. That's just mine.
Thank you. No problem.
Thank you, caller.
Well, we join in the optimism. I am not a cynic. I don't have any reason to say they will not do what they want to do, what they should do. You know, I'm not like that. I adopt a wait and see approach, and we have to give everybody, their measure of faith and support.
And we will also be inviting members to sit in the commentary box. We will also be inviting members of the feeling side also.
Yeah, the bowling side,
The bowling side.
Yeah.
Bowling and feeling.
Yeah, the bowling and feeling.
we will also be inviting
Yes,
them to
yes,
sit
yes,
too.
yes, yes.
Just like we inviting a couple of batsmen
Correct.
from the other side to sit and hear what their views are, and their position on the state of play.
Yeah.
We'll also be
Because
inviting.
we're not playing politics on this program. We playing cricket.
Yeah, we playing cricket.
And cricket have two sides.
Yeah.
And in the interest of the game and fairness, we can't have cheating. We can't have imbalance. Somebody can't bowl four ball in an over and you bowl 5. We have to be a little consistent.
Yes.
And we need the two sides. We need two sides to have a good game. We need the bowling side.
So tomorrow will be a very exciting game.
Yeah, yes.
Because we will have a commentator in the box.
A member of the
watching.
batting team.
Yeah, watching, and
Yeah.
he will be talking a lot about how they intend to bat.
Yes, and we promised him that all the deliveries.
How much runs they put on the board? Who are the strong batsmen? What kind of swing we going and see? You know what they're going to be going at? Who they're looking to hit for 6?
Yes, and we already told them that our bowlers in the pavilion have red and yellow jersey.
Yes.
You understand? So you have to be able to bat and prepare to be open and transparent. You know, we will guard against the no balls. We're not playing scooch. We don't want nobody to try to bust the head. We will guard against those things.
Yes.
But if it's pace they come in with, you have to bat.
Yeah, you have to bat.
And I have
put on your helmet.
Yeah, and
put on your helmet tomorrow.
And the goodly gentleman, to be honest, from what we see in the nets before he became a member of this team, what we see in the nets.
Somehow like he's still
Is he still in the nets?
He's still feeling in the nets, but
I don't know. We have to ask this gentleman tomorrow, how does it feel being out on the field?
Like he's still practicing to come on and
He's
bat.
still, cover shot and cover drive.
12 man.
Yeah. He pad up though, and he pad up. He hasn't been called into question just yet because of the ministry he's in. Not just yet. They're not in focus just yet.
But he's a minister, albeit a junior one. But
Yes. You know, he is a minister in a ministry. Good, but what I'm saying, that ministry hasn't come into focus just yet. Let me hear this caller. Caller, good afternoon.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, caller.
Yeah, I was trying to get on to all this since around 4 o'clock. With the behavioral pattern of the police. And, some people tend to defend the police. But if the police do the job the way they're supposed to do it, don't you all believe that they and the public would be friends?
Well, I believe it theoretically that might be so called. I agree with you, but that may not. That says that everybody wants peace and harmony. But we do have elements who, despite your best intentions, that will disrupt their criminal enterprise.
Yes. And if you don't have criminality, the law fraternity cannot make money.
All right, you twisted it. All right.
Well, the cliche crime pays.
But caller, have you heard what we said about the CPEP and the responsibility now and how the government is pursuing negligence on board? So what do you think about that move?
Well, you know what happening, eh? People workers have to eat too,
Right.
And these people getting a small little income, right? We must be the lowest paid people in the fraternity. And when you disrupt them like that, what it is you're going to do, what it is they're doing. Why is you taking time to do what you want to do and how you want to do it? These fellas are thirsty. They're hungry. The family on the breadline. What it is all they do?
Yeah, when the elephants fight, the grass get trampled.
Right.
So you're correct.
So you see, just like how some fellas outside here, we selling. You selling coconut, I selling coconut, the next one selling coconut. Coconut is expensive because when you go to purchase, people don't want no $1.50 again for the coconut. People want $4 and $5 for the coconut. You have to pay a climber. And when you come outside here, a bottle of coconut water, the 2 liter is for $60. A man selling 3 for $100 and put in a big sign, what do you expect?
Yeah. Well.
You know, it's a fight down against ourselves. We fighting ourselves. So we have to come to consciousness. Unless we do that which we're supposed to do, things would never get right. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, loud and clear, caller. We following you. We here.
You see, I call really to really make this. When I was calling, it didn't happen yet. But when I was thinking and I realized what's going on, I said the best place to put this, to see what kind of justice we could get. Because you can't tell a man, go sell the thing how he wants to sell it. But then do from a wrong others to put up no sign and to create no problem thing, because that will create problem.
It's a free enterprise system. So if he feel he had to advertise a cheaper price, anybody just complain about rattan?
Yeah.
Listen, the best pants I ever wear is a rattan pants, and it's cheap. No, serious. I telling a friend that today. I say, boy, people have this thing about cheap thing and rattan and that kind of thing. But listen, you ever go inside and shop?
Yes, I don't
that's
go.
a good thing inside
because,
and reasonable.
Yeah, what happening? If I was a big shop, if I had a couple millions put aside, the kind of mind that I have, I would have rock back. And I would have been doing my little gardening and making sure I keep myself active and I could eat and all them kind of things. But I don't have that. So I have to come out and look for it. And when you trying to take it away from me, what it is you're telling me in return? I mean, understand where I'm coming from? Because you're taking food out of my mouth, you're taking the bread out of my basket when you're doing that.
But you have a point.
But it don't have no togetherness and work outside there, work ethic. Everything is to try and outdo the other. And instead of we build a foundation, we breaking it down, we mashing it up. How it is, why it is that it's always like that. And I would leave all you with this. Tell me in the world, the Lord tell us certain things, and they give us this instruction. They say obedience is heaven's first law. But human always choose the opposite. Could you give me a solution to that?
No, sir.
But why we always going the opposite?
No, sir.
We always want to challenge the status quo. That is natural in man.
We do not like order.
You know, when you look at Psalm 8, and it asks you, what is man that thou art mindful of him?
Correct.
Thou hast made him a little lower than the angels.
Correct.
And he crowned him with honor and with glory. He gave him dominion over everything. But the only thing he gave him dominion over is man. Why it is that we can't come together as a people and listen and do what is right?
And work together for the betterment of harmony, of humanity.
Caller, we ending the program here. So we'll pick up tomorrow. Please tune in. We have somebody nice for you to talk to.
Watch me. I don't move off this station.
Thank
Whether
you.
I like what's happening or ain't going, I don't move off this station. I always do.
Okay,
So
appreciate it.
So we have a great show tomorrow.
Yes, we have a great show tomorrow lined up. We have a man who say he could bat.
Yeah, he's a batsman. He's batsman extraordinary.
Yeah, when he was in the nets all before now, he said he could make 50, he could make 100, he could hit 6. We didn't see him bat, but he was saying that. But now, he have on pads, and he have a bat in his hand.
He's still calling Harry back.
Yeah, some of the antics has not changed, and that is character. He's a colorful gentleman. He's a colorful. You know, these people you hate to love and you love to hate.
Yeah.
Good. He's a colorful gentleman who has been persistent. If it's one thing, and this man loved the country in the sense that he always saying he done, and then when you see he come back again.
Anytime you are googly.
Yeah. There are some people they playing sports and say, I don't play football. When you look, they in the savannah. They in the savannah. They ain't done. So tomorrow we joined by this batsman and he will give his version and we will interact and get down to some serious issues. We'll make sure that all deliveries are legal. But we want to thank you for tuning in today and being part of today's program. Be safe and God bless.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.